Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your March 2019 Lenormand reading. I'm Jade with Yes Yes Yes. Welcome back to the channel. For those who are new, just stopping by, just trying to see what this is all about, checking it out. The Lenormand deck is developed by, it's a French deck. It's kind of like the gypsy way of reading. I'm going to draw all the cards out. We're going to do a Grand Tableau. I'm going to go through them, and this is a general read. This is for Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Scorpios. And do keep in mind, this is, it's difficult to read for so many people, so I give you lots of different options. But if you are interested in really getting into what's going on for you, I would suggest a personal reading. My website information is in the box below, as well as all the information about the decks that I'm using. And what else? So we'll go through it. We'll see what's going on. This is the most accurate readings I get and receive, or I give and receive. So we'll see what comes up for you all. It's for all, we get to see you about love, we get to see about money, about health. So it's a really great overall read. But I want to give you a card from Gabby Bernstein's deck just because, why not? So, let's see, there's a lot to read here. Oh, and it's so bright. Let's see, does that help? All right. My capacity to tune in to the energy of love gives me the words I need. When I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I'm lost. I think I read that in a strange way, but I'm going to leave it up here for you. Gabby Bernstein is really good at giving messages that we may not have realized that we needed to hear, and sometimes we need to chew on them. I feel like that's a chewing one, so we'll come back to that at the end. Ooh, I like this just to finish it out. This is the Mike Dooley deck. Forgive, and it's just beautiful. His cards are beautiful. Forgive. So we'll see. This might be an overall, it might just be an extra added bonus, but we're going to start here with the Lenormand deck. This is the Gilded Reverie. So for Scorpio, I've pre-shuffled the deck really well, and now we're going to see where this story all begins for Scorpio. For Scorpio. Welcome back for all of you. People who have subscribed. I'm loving it all, loving working with you all. Thanks for coming back. Here is the beginning. All right, so I'm going to call it out, lay it down, and then we'll go from there. We start with the anchor, the sun, the heart, the scythe, the coffin, the stork, that is the clover, and the letter. Oops, let me make sure those are all in the, yes they are, all right. The child, the birds, lily, the bear, the cross, the bouquet, the book, and there's the masculine. The tree, the rider, the feminine is here, the fox, the snake, the mice, so all those all together, the ship, and the fish. Last line, the clouds, the garden, the tower, the key, the dog, the stars, the paths, and there's the mountain. All right, the last four, the whip, the house, the moon, and the ring. Okay. So the first thing I'd like to do is I'm going to count and see if any of the cards are in their houses. That just gives me another flavor of the reading and to see what's, what we might want to have as an underlying element. Okay, so give me a moment. Okay, so nothing is in its own house, which is fine. Again, that's just another element, but I like to include it if I can. Okay, so we're going to get started here, and I'm going to start with this first line Going this way. Oh, wait, let me first explain. The feminine card is here. So for Scorpio femmes, right here, this is your present line. This is all your past, and this would be your future. Now for the Scorpio masculines, this is going to be a lot about your past. So this is your present line, and then we'll have to see how it develops in your future, okay? If I was doing a personal reading for the Scorpio masculine, I would redraw because, you know, it's nice to have both what's coming in the way that the energies are looking like what's coming as well as the past. But because it's a general, we're going to go with this, all right? So it looks like this first line might have to do with a love relationship. Let's see what's going on. So we have some stability and some success in this stability, and it might have been connected to a love relationship. And this is something that in the feminine line, it should be in the present, okay? So Scorpio femmes, if you are in a current love relationship right now, it in the past has been feeling very stable and very successful. For the masculine, it's also in your past, but it's a little further away. So this might have been back in the deep past. Now, we do have some kind of edging out, some kind of transformation that's happening and a new beginning. So keep in mind, sometimes with the scythe and the coffin put together, it's a sharp end. So it is possible that what once felt really successful and stable might be transforming to something else, and it might be a new beginning. And it's a lucky new beginning, and there's going to be some talk about it. Maybe, you know, maybe just chatting by letters, by texts, by emails. And of course, let me just say, this could be the same relationship. In the near future for the feminine, there might be a huge change that comes up that spurs something new. And let's look at what's going on underneath. There might be a third party or some kind of secret being held. There might be an issue with work and money, okay? So with a boss or working for oneself. So there's something about a burden with perhaps a secret, perhaps another person involved, or it could be something about like a job or money has been cut. So those both could be an issue that comes up in your relationship, if that makes any sense. But what I'm seeing is a new beginning. It's a little bit nervous, but it seems to be that you have recommitted in the future. You're recommitting. And it does seem to be something that is blessed both from the outside and from the stars, you know. So if you want to say that there's an alignment happening, that's beautiful. And I feel like that new beginning, it might start, you know, it might be declared by words. So declared in email, declared in text. But words are going to be utilized to say, hey, let's make this new beginning, let's work on it. And what it's seeming like for the feminine is that the masculine is reaching out with his words. Okay, now for masculine, again, this is a lot of your past. This might ring true. There might have been something that started off really well and then something happened, right? And I'm talking about this relationship. This relationship might have started off really well and then things kind of went a little sideways in the past. But there is a new beginning, and right now you might be to the place where you are starting to offer yourself in a new way. You really want to make it work again. So you might be reaching out by text, by email, maybe even an old-fashioned letter, or just on social media, right? You could be just making yourself known on social media. Okay, so there's a lot going on with love already for you, Scorps. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. And we'll get to the nitty-gritty here in the center, because I feel like that's what's really what you're feeling. This is the energy that the reading's picking up on. So let's start second line. We have, again, this newness that was being talked about. Could have been a child. The feminine might have a child, but there's been a lot of talk about the longevity of this, okay? Now, we could be talking about this relationship still, and the feminine might have really been feeling like this could be it. This relationship could be the one, the longevity, the sensualness that you really want. Now, what happens, here's this change again in the center here, is that there's some type of authoritative burden, okay? Somebody comes in. It's an outside force that comes in. It might be I'm feeling like if this is the feminine who has a child, it might be dealing with this child's father. You know, this might be someone from the past that you have to deal with, who's come in and say, look, you know, this relationship, I'm not about you having a new relationship with anybody. So this might become a little bit of a tense issue that you have to work out in order to get to your masculine again. Now, the other thing is that because might be a family burden, there might be some issue with the mother or the father, the feminine's mother or father, could be the masculine's mother or father that comes up. And let's see, any other hints? Well, we're not quite there yet, but I will say that you know, we're talking about there was a potentiality of issue with money, working for yourself versus working for another. Or there could be some deception in the family that's creating a burden. And this, when I see this kind of combination, what it could be is that there might have been a mother or father who have passed on, and having to deal with the family, having to deal with a will, because they're usually like, there can be some really tough pain that comes out when there's a death in the family, and there can be a lot of fighting, there can be a lot of anxiety. So that could be what's going on, just because, you know, this coffin here is about change and transformation. So so there could be just a big family change for both the feminine or the masculine. If it's the feminine, it might be coming. So if you have a parental figure who is aging, who you might be wondering if they are reaching their end, it's possible, but that doesn't necessarily have to mean what's going on. I just, you know, I want to be honest about what the cards say, but again, let me just say that these are cards. So so what we're looking at is some type of family change that there could be a lot of tension, and you as the feminine might have been the lone wolf, like the one who kind of does things on her own. For the masculine, all of this is in your deep past. So if there was some kind of family situation that came up in your deep past, I'm seeing that again, it works its way out. And feminines, just know that it's working its way out. It may be feeling tense right now, and it might be, again, with the father of this child, if you do have a child, but this also could just mean that we're trying to start something new in life, right? We've got a couple of money cards, a couple of business cards. So this could be a new start in business, and there was a burden that you had to take on. So maybe, you know, saying yes to a new job, you might have said yes, not realizing all of the responsibility that you had. There are so many possibilities here, but I just want to give, you know, so many, I want to give as many opportunities for people to resonate as possible. So I hope I haven't lost you. I just know that for the feminine, there's a little bit of tension coming. How about that? There's a little bit of tension that's got to get worked out. But ultimately, look, the bouquet is here that's going to support it. It's going to work out. What will happen is that there will be some learning, some growing, and there also might be, that might lead to that connection with your masculine. Now, the masculine is also on the other side of this book. So he could be an educated man. He could also be a man who has been kind of secretive or watching you, right? Like kind of lurking, not in a creepy way, but, you know, just being low key. Maybe, you know, he saw all of this that you were going through, and he's just been here as a quiet support, okay? So if there's someone who, you know, if right now you're going through a lot in a family situation, or maybe with, you know, the father of your child or something along those lines, even if it's work, right? If you're going through a lot of change and it's stressful, there's a lot of parts moving, there seems to be a masculine who is observing you and is here for silent support, okay? It will work out for you to open up to him in the future if you choose. For the masculine, just know that this is what the feminine is going through. There's a lot of stuff coming up for her that might have to do with business, with family, and with money, okay? So it is a great place for you to be, where you've been offering silent support. And I feel like if you have been offering this, she will be coming to you, okay? All right, let's move to that third line. we've got, and here's really where our family is. So this in the center here is just constriction, okay? So we have the tree of family, could be also health. So really working on those things in the past for the feminine, okay? So either health or family situation that has been brought to the forefront. Now, again, it could be repeated, this whole thing could be repeating, and that the feminine might have been trying to do things on her own, but there's something that is forcing her to deal with it, okay? There's someone that's saying, hey, you know, you can't just separate yourself from this family. You can't just go off and do whatever you want. You need to be here to focus on this with us, to you know, it's not about being a lone wolf, it's about being a family member. That's just one instance. If we're talking about health, there was, in the past, something was brought up to you about health. Maybe it's, you know, oh, I need to lose a few pounds, right? I need to maybe start eating less meat, get my cholesterol in order. So doing things on your own, and now it's coming to a realization that you might need some help with doing it, because it's hard to change those routines, okay? There's something that's just kind of causing you to look and rethink and change what you thought the path that you were going on, okay? That's what's going on here in the future, near future for you feminines, is that you're being challenged, okay, just in the near future. There will be some anxiety about it, and that anxiety is about moving forward and feeling good about, if it is family, feeling good about your connection to family. If it's health, feeling good about the abundance that you might be stepping into. Generally, the fish is a card of money. Because we haven't been talking about money, it's a little tricky to go over it, especially because it's so far away. But what it's showing me is that there's some anxiety that you might have. Maybe it's that you have a trip planned in the future, and you're worried about the money that's involved in what you'll have to be spending on that trip. Okay, so just to, you know, totally flip-flop everything. If you're feeling fine, you with your health and your family, and you have this challenge coming up, or that maybe you're in it right now, that anxiety might take you to a place where you feel like you have to move away from it, step away from it, take a trip, you know, even if it's a weekend trip, just take a break away from this tension. And there might be some anxiety connected to that money, okay? Now the other thing, because the masculine is here, you might connect with your masculine if you take that trip. So even if you're nervous about it, just know that your masculine might be there to support you, okay? What else? Oh, for the masculines here, again, this is stuff that's really going on in the deep past for you. So there could have been a new health routine that was challenged here in the middle. So masculines, if you had started a new health routine, and this is deep under subconscious stuff, okay? So if you had started a new health routine, there was some kind of issue about it in the near past that brought you some tension, and you said kind of, okay, I'm going to try something new that might cost a little bit more money, and there's a little bit of resistance, a little bit of anxiety about that, okay? Whew, all right, this is really interesting, Scorpio. I'm trying to keep it like straight because I know how you Scorps are. You just want to have the information and go forward with it. And again, in general readings, it can be really challenging to do so. So I do hope this is making sense. Just know that, you know, there's a period of challenge, but it all works out. You have beneficial cards on the other end of it, okay? I'm so glad to see that this is not towards the end of your reading, okay? So just know it's all gonna work out. We just have to keep breathing. All right, let's go to this last line. There was a little bit of confusion about perhaps a community or a public, and this could be, you know, on social media. There could have been something that happened on social media that created some confusion, both for masculine and feminine in the past. This card, the Tower, can also be about higher education. It can be about, you know, an organization, a corporation, a hospital. something like a community hospital. There could have been some kind of confusion about a larger, grander organization in the past. Now, again, I'm not seeing, your work card is up here. So it is possible that this had to do with, maybe you took on a new work position and you'd really rather work on your own, and that's why there's some confusion. Perhaps you took this position and you, again, I think we talked about it up here, you said yes, and yet there was more responsibility than you had bargained for. So the key, right, the success that's going to come from this is from what friends you make, and these are emotional connections. And do be aware that, you want to look at friends, and Scorpio, you're really good at this. When you sense something is off, right, that snake, cut them out, right? If they're a friend that's deceptive, if they are talking about you behind your back, cut them out. Do not even, just get rid of them. That could be what was going on here at the work with this work job, with this work card, is that there was some deception. Perhaps there's somebody that you work with who's pretending to be a friend, and they're really just kind of slowly trying to dig away at your job or your position. So cut that out. You don't need it. That's in the near future for the feminine. For the masculine, that might have already happened. Now we have the stars, which is about, it's about destiny, notoriety, but there's also it's about energy and burning a lot of energy. So what's happening is that you have had some confusion. You've been up in your head. You're challenged perhaps at work here with someone who is slowly trying to eat away at your success. And what we have is the choice. You have a choice between burning yourself out, right? Really trying to put yourself out there, take care of this situation by overcompensating, or you can go the silent route. You can go and it might be a harder route, a slower route, but what I'm seeing is that that's the choice you make. Because, obviously that's the choice that ends us. So for a work situation, if there was some confusion, if you signed a contract and you got into a role that required more than you thought, there might be somebody around who's slowly trying to dig at you, who may not like that you had that role offer. They might have been up for the same promotion. They, just little bits, right? Just little bits. That's what the mice does. Little eating away. The choice that you have here is, one, make sure that the friends are your friends. No, don't need any enemies. Keeping them close, just cut them out. And the cards are advising that you choose the slower, perhaps more arduous way on your own, instead of burning yourself out trying to prove yourself worthy. There's no reason for a Scorpio to do that anyway, but trying to prove yourself over this other person, just work hard. Just keep your head down and keep moving forward. That's what it's saying. And again, this is where your masculine line is. So masculines, you might be working on that right now, where if you are working hard, keeping your head down because there are other people who might be after your job, the thing is that your money is going to come from working and keeping your focus and not being concerned about this, whatever this is, whatever this tension is in the middle. Your strength comes from not being focused on it. All right. Okay, let's finish up here with, we have the whip and the house. So there's a little bit of strain in the home. This can be also a repetition. So maybe you have a home improvement task that you keep having to do because you're not getting it done professionally. Like you're doing it yourself, but it keeps coming up. Like you seal that crack and then it comes back, and then you seal it again and it comes back, and what you really need to do is hire somebody to come in and replace the drywall. That's what that could be about. The other thing is that you might have been looking at buying a home, and there's something about you're kind of beating yourself up about a home. So maybe you don't like the home that you're in. Maybe you missed out on a home purchase that you wanted to make. There is something that, within this month, let's see what new commitments, and it's feeling like it's tied to this home. What new commitments come up, okay? So just relax, use your intuition though. So don't beat yourself up. If a new home comes up, or if you need to change residence, use your intuition, and that will bring you to that new commitment. What I'm feeling like that commitment is going to be like a lease or a mortgage or something like that, okay? So let me just do a quick overview here. It looks like there was a love relationship in the past for both. If you are the feminine, you're in it right now. There's going to be a change, a new beginning. The masculine is going to offer you this new beginning in some type of written word. It might be on social media, but it's going to feel really good. There is some tension coming up that can be related to the family, or to work, okay? Do check to make sure that you don't have any enemies at work in your near surroundings. Just cut them out. No need to keep the enemies close. Just get rid of them, because what will happen is that person will take you down bit by bit, and you don't need that, okay? What we're trying to get to is to have all of the money in the end. Finally, health routines. Make sure that you are making the best choice for your body. Same thing with health in general, making the best choice for your body. And again, back to work, I forgot to mention this, choosing the lonely path, maybe doing the job by yourself, not with the team, not with this person who might be cutting you down, is a better choice, rather than trying to build your energy, throw out too much, and burn yourself out. The money comes when you keep your head down and you keep working hard. The relationship for the feminine is in the future. Masculine, you might have met her already, and you might be holding space for her while she's going through whatever this is, whatever this tension is. Let's bring it back up. Forgive. I don't know if that's for you or if that's for someone else. And then I'm going to read this one again. My capacity to tune in to the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. So there's something about forgiveness, compassion, and forging ahead. Scorpio, this is a deep reading. I would not guess anything less of you. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. I'm trying to lighten it up here, but if you're still with me, yeah, let me know about it in the comments, or hit that like button. That helps the channel out so much. Thanks so much, Scorpio. We'll see you soon.